I've finally finished Ultimate Glebus level and I can upload it to the public now.
Dude, please stop milking my content.
Come on, man, these videos take like zero effort whatsoever, and they're fun to make.
You might like them, but the algorithm doesn't. Why don't you make content that the people actually like? Maybe, I don't know, you could post another Gauntlet review?
Dude, please upload another Gauntlet review. The people are starving. You've been hiding in your bedroom for years. The people need this content.
Okay, jeez.
Do not be afraid, my child. All will be healed soon.
I may have lost the plot. After 800 septillion years, I'm finally back with another Gauntlet review video. In case you don't know how this works, I'll be ranking each level in 4 categories: the gameplay, the decoration, the theming / creativity, and my overall enjoyment. But for this video, I'll also be adding in a difficulty ranking, so by the end we can determine the difficulty of the Gauntlet. Play that Sigma Tiki 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 Fonk because the first level of the Gauntlet is bussin'. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really like this level. It's kinda funny, but the gameplay is really boring. Like seriously, just look at this first cube. The spider is just like, it's the gameplay equivalent of drinking a glass of water. And in later parts of the level, you really can't see because of all of the crazy effects and deco. So overall, I'd give gameplay probably a 5 out of 10. The decoration, an 8 out of 10. It's pretty cool, but it takes away from the gameplay sometimes. And I'll give creativity / theming a 7 out of 10. And I will give my overall enjoyment a 6 out of 10. I don't really like this level. As for difficulty, this level took me like around 5 attempts, so not that hard. I'd give it probably like a 5 out of 10 on difficulty. And yeah, that's the level. The next level in the Gauntlet is Berserker, and much like the previous level, it does not hold back with the decoration. But unlike the previous level, it goes absolutely nuts with it. Some of the later parts in the level, I literally just have to spam and pray because I genuinely cannot for the life of me tell what's going on. Like, I like crazy spam deco sometimes, but like, for the love of God, chill out. If the deco wasn't there, this level would be like so much easier, but it kind of just made the level like 20 times harder, which took away from most of my enjoyment. The gameplay is really, really boring without the deco, so like most of the entertaining value from this level comes from the deco. So for gameplay, I'll probably give it a 4 out of 10. Deco is a 7 out of 10. It would be a 9, but it takes away from a lot of the gameplay. The creativity / theming is awesome. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. I really like the theming. And my overall enjoyment, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Overall, not that bad, but also I didn't really like it. As for the difficulty, I'll give it an 8 out of 10. It would be a 4 out of 10 if it wasn't for the deco. Okay, seriously, how am I supposed to pronounce the name of this level? Anyway, I really like the decoration because it's pixel blocks, and I love pixel blocks, and there's just so much life in the first section of this level. There's like these little axolotl guys chilling around the map, and it's just like a very cozy vibe. The gameplay is pretty straightforward, unlike the other 2 levels, and I think it does its job pretty well. But the decoration is like my favorite part of this level. As for the creativity / theming, I don't really know what they were going for, but I think it's pretty cool. As for what I think of this level, I think it's a pretty good level, definitely better than the other 2. For gameplay, I'll give it an 8 out of 10. Decoration is an 8 out of 10. Creativity / theming is a 6.5 out of 10. And my overall enjoyment, I will probably give a 8.5 out of 10. As for the difficulty, this level is significantly easier than the previous 2 levels, so I'll give a difficulty like a 3.5 out of 10. Next Cab Soon is the only level in the Gauntlet that I just could not bring myself to beat. The gameplay in the first half of the level was pretty easy and fairly straightforward, but in the second half of the level, it's so fast and the deco clutters up some of it, so it's just really difficult. Overall, I really like the theming. It's got a cool, like, graffiti subway vibe. And the decoration as a whole is also really good and just like feels good to look at. This level is very hard though. Not because of the gameplay, but it's just very fast paced. So, for gameplay, I'll give it a 5 out of 10. The beginning is pretty straightforward, but towards the end of the level, it gets kind of bonkers and crazy. As for the decoration, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. I think it's pretty nice. And as for the theming, I'll give it a 9 out of 10. I really like the theming. As for my overall enjoyment, I'll give it a 4.5 out of 10. I just didn't really have fun playing this because of the difficulty. Speaking of difficulty, because this was the only level in the Gauntlet I really couldn't beat, I will give it a 10 out of 10 for my standards. Which for my standards, that's like hard enough to the point where I'd have to spend like a good amount of time grinding it out. The final level in the Gauntlet is the Incinerator, and it reminds me a lot of a Zender game level, which means I might have a bit of bias towards it. This level's deco can clutter up the screen sometimes, but I was just able to kind of wing it and beat it. And since this is the final level and the previous level was harder than it, that's kind of odd. But anyways, the gameplay for the first half is pretty straightforward, but once you get to the boss fight, it's kind of cluttered and you can't really see. However, I'm still able to like do it and just wing it, and I make it to the end. As for gameplay, I'll give it an 8 out of 10. Deco is a 9 out of 10. The creativity / theming is an 8.5 out of 10, and my overall enjoyment is a 9 out of 10. As for difficulty, it's easier than the previous level, but I'd say it's also easier than Berserker, so I'll give difficulty a 7 out of 10. Overall, I gave Bussin' a 26 out of 40, Berserker another 26 out of 40, the level I have no idea how to pronounce a 31 out of 40, I gave Next Cab Soon a 25.5 out of 40, and I gave the Incinerator a 34.5 out of 40. As for difficulty, I gave Bussin' a 5 out of 10, Berserker an 8 out of 10, the level I have no idea how to pronounce a 3.5 out of 10, I gave Next Cab Soon a 10 out of 10, and I gave the Incinerator a 7 out of 10. Factoring in the scores from all the levels, the NCS Gauntlet gets a 143 out of 200, which is fairly decent. That would be B tier on a tier list. As for difficulty, the Gauntlet gets a 33.5 out of 50, which is medium difficulty. Anyways, the next Gauntlet review will be in 7 billion more years. Thank you for watching.